27th of December, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashevua. Vaera. Hello, Rabbi.
Hi. Okay. Welcome back,
Apologies
everybody.
again for yesterday for forgetting about you.
Okay, I still have a problem. I can't somehow make my own meeting because whenever I put into Zoom, I go into Zoom and that thing, it sends me to a different browser than regular Google. And somehow it says it can't find the right page or something. I don't know exactly. So I cannot manage to go make my Google meeting by myself. So that's why basically I was just stuck yesterday. Okay.
So you can set your default browser on your system, and that will solve that part of the problem.
I do that. I'm not sure exactly what happened over here because sometimes all of a sudden only by Zoom does it send me to this other like AVG browser. Maybe I should just remove it.
That would probably work.
Because I don't really need it. I just have the regular Google browser. Okay, let's go. Let's not waste any more time. Right, Vaera. Okay. Yeah. Mayor, we want to start?
Okay, Vaera. Okay, so let's see. It says Vaydaber Elokim El Moshe Vayomer Elav Ani Hashem. So God, let's see, Hashem, I get. Well, no, Elokim is
God. Let's call it translated as God.
Okay, so God said to Moshe,
spoke to Moshe,
and he said, Elav to him, Ani Hashem. So this is Hashem's real name, I guess.
Right. Okay. Now, obviously, the pasuk is emphasizing the difference between the name Elohim and Hashem. Okay, the tetragrammaton, let's call it Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is the name of it. Okay, so we'll have to see. This is Rashi's going to dwell on this.
Okay, so Rashi says, Vaydaber Elokim El Moshe. Okay, so God spoke to Moshe. Daber ito mishpat. He spoke with him of justice, I guess. Mishpat is justice.
Right.
Okay.
He means he spoke to him in a, how should you say, strict manner. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so he spoke to Moshe. Oh, okay. Okay. And he said, okay, okay. So let's see. Al shehiksha lidaber v'lomar. Okay. Lami hariosa la'am hazeh. Okay, so let's see. So for talking, let's see, for speaking, hiksha is from kasher, hardly, being harsh, I guess.
Al shehiksha means Moshe Rabbeinu spoke harshly to Hashem, and he said to him,
okay, he said, yeah, why did you do bad to this people?
Oh. You know, as Rashi is referring to the end of last week's Parsha, where it says, Pasuk, just after Maftir. It says chapter 5, Pasuk Chav Beis, Pasuk 22. It says, Vayosha Moshe el Hashem vayomar. Moshe returned to Hashem and he said, Hashem, which is adnus. Lama haraoisa lama zeh lama zeh shalachta. Why have you caused it to be bad for this people? And why have you sent me? Lama zeh shalachta. The word zeh is a subject in itself. But anyway. Okay.
Okay, so why did you do bad? Okay.
Cause it to be bad was because once Moshe Rabbeinu went to Hashem, after he went to Paro, to tell Paro, please let the Jewish people go, Paro got all upset and he says, what do you think you do? Who do you think you are? Not only I'm not going to send them, we're going to make things worse for them. Okay.
Okay, very good. And then, so let's see, Hashem responded, Vayomer Elav Ani Hashem.
No, not exactly Hashem. Yeah, the other thing. So there's 2 points over here, by the way. First thing is Vayidab Elokim Moshe. Hashem, or Elokim, God, who is the name is representative of Midas Hadin, means that's where Rashi says, Diba Itoi Mishpat. Spoke strictly and harshly to him, because that's indicated by the name Elohim. That's one thing. So he spoke in a harsh manner to him. Okay, and then he said, "Vayomer Elav Ani Hashem." And then he said to him, which is actually a soft expression, "Ani Hashem, I am Hashem," which is also representative of Midas Harachamim.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to see now. Rashi's going to what, in other words, on the one hand it says Vayidab Elokim Moshe. It seems Hashem speaking harshly to Moshe, but then it says Vayomer Elav Ani Hashem. Now, why is Hashem at this point saying Ani Hashem? If it's representative of the fact that Hashem has the midah of Rachamim, so why is it Kodesh Baruch Hu pointing that out? Okay. So now Rashi's going to explain the whole lengthy explanation over here, that here Ani Hashem is not particular representative of Midas Harachamim, but what Hashem is indicating by saying the name Ani Hashem means, as Rashi says, let's see Rashi, Ne'eman.
Okay, Ne'eman l'shalem sachar tov l'mit halachim l'fanai. Okay. So I have what complete.
Ne'eman means he's faithful. Hashem is faithful.
Faithful. Okay, l'shalem to pay a reward.
Yeah,
A good reward. Okay.
Halachim lefonai, those who follow.
Those who
Me,
follow.
I would suggest lefonai means literally before me, but it means follow me closely. As we have by Avram Avinu, it says Hisalach lefonai. It refers to that referring to the tzaddikim who follow before Hashem closely. They carefully keep the word of Hashem.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. Now, so carries on Rashi. Veloi.
Velo lechinam shalachticha. Shalachticha, send you. I will not send you.
I did not. Veloi lechinam shalachticha. I didn't send you for nothing. Ki'im lekayem devori.
I have.
Dvorai, actually.
Okay, I sorry, I have a phone call. Maybe
Okay.
someone else can take over.
Okay. Lou, you want to continue?
Yeah. So I have not sent you in vain.
Right.
Keep the game divarai, but
rather to fulfill
my words. But what is the word im? Doesn't im usually mean with?
No, that's with an ayin. Im with an aleph means likami if or when. But in this sense, when you say ki im, means rather. Elo, it's like elo.
Okay,
Ki im l'chaim
I've sent you to fulfill my words. Shedibarti la'avos harishonim. That I spoke with your fathers at first.
Harishonim means to the La'avos Harishonim, to the forefathers. It means literally means the first fathers, but it means in this sense forefathers. It means to fulfill my words that I spoke to the forefathers.
Uva lashon hazeh mi matzinu shehu nidrash b'kama mekomos. And this expression, matzinu, we find that it is interpreted in many places. Ani Hashem, I am Hashem. What does that mean? Ne'eman lehi parei, faithful to. Lehi parei kishehu amur eitzel onesh. I am faithful to exact payment when it is stated in the context of punishment.
Right. Kagoin.
Kigon, for example, V'chilalta es shem Elokecha ani Hashem. For example, and you will have profaned the name of your God. I am Hashem.
Right. You will profane the name of Hashem, of your God. I am Hashem, meaning beware not to do this, because if you do it, it will cause a chilul Hashem. And Ani Hashem, I am faithful, Kosh Baruch Hu says, I am faithful to punish anybody who transgresses this sin. So therefore beware. Okay? And similarly, Ukeshuhu
Omer Eitzel Kiyum Mitzvos. And when it says in the context of the fulfillment of the commandments, Kigon, for example, Ushe Martem Mitzvosai Va'asisem Osam Ani Hashem, and you will guard my commandments and do them. I am Hashem. Ne'eman litain schar, faithful to give reward. So it's using reward and payment to be synonymous.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, so we're back to the Torah.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Wow, this is
fine.
a long Rashi on a very short pasuk.
What we just did now.
Yeah, it's a very short pasuk. Just
We're gonna
I'm
see.
Hashem.
Right. We're going to see more about this because Rashi hasn't finished that. But basically, the idea is that Rashi is saying, what is the meaning of Ani Hashem over here? Means you, Moshe Rabbeinu, think that when you've gone to Parsha and Parsha's made things worse, you think, well, what was the point of me going? So Kosh Baruch Hu is saying, be rest assured. I'm faithful. My name is Hashem. I'm faithful to pay good reward for those who are faithful to me and have trust in me. And therefore, don't think that what I sent you to Parsha was for nothing. It is all part of my master plan. So just rest assured and just follow what I tell you. Okay? By the way, Stam, as in matter of interest, the Chazal say And we find this thing, whatever the, before a redemption, right? Always the time immediate to that was the biggest darkness, biggest depth of the Golus. And here too as well was before Kosh Baruch Hu was going to bring the Geula, and Kosh Baruch Hu made the servitude and the hard labor even harder than had been before. It was like kind of the Chazal compare it to the darkest part of the night is the time immediately before the dawn. The darkness before the dawn, that's the deepest darkness of the night. Whatever, there's a number of ideas behind it. Probably most simple one is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to finish off his all the how should we say all the punishment that was required to be given to the Jewish people, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, rather than prolonging the exile, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it a little bit harder to finish it off quick, that the Geula could come quick.
What were we being punished for?
Oh, now you're asking a very good question. Why did the Jewish people have to spend 210 years in Egypt, 117 years as slaves, and 86 years in hard labor?
I understood that it was not a punishment, but that it was a necessary stage in our development.
Okay, but it definitely was the level and the time the Jewish people actually had to go through these 3 stages, which were actually promised to Avraham Avinu in the Bris Bein HaBesarim, the Bris Bein covenant between the pieces. Kosh Baruch Hu told him, Yodea Teda, you should be fully aware. Stage 1, Ger Yezaruch Be'eretz Le'olam. You have to be strangers in a strange land. Okay, that's stage number 1. And Chazal say that Kosh Baruch in his kindness made the vast majority of the time where the Jewish people had to be in Golus, was merely just to be in a foreign land. They were not being persecuted. They were not being subjugated. All they had to be was the thing. In fact, we've got 400. Kosh Baruch Hu told him, so there were 3 stages. Ba'avadum, that they had to be slaves. The Inuisam, and these nations are going to afflict them as well. They're going to subject them to hard labor. So there were 3 stages. Gerus, being foreigners, Avdus, being servants or slaves, i.e. second-class citizens, right? And Inuim, being actually subjugated and subjected to hard labor. Okay, those were the 3 stages. And in fact, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made them actually foreigners in a foreign land in Egypt only for 210 years. True, already from the time Yitzchak was born, right, there was 400 years till they were actually redeemed. But the first 190 years, they were basically in the land of Canaan, right? They were not in their land, they were not autonomous, but nevertheless, they were pretty comfortable in the land of Canaan. It wasn't their land. So Kosh Baruch Hu made it that the sojourning in a foreign land was already considered from the birth of Yitzchak. Okay, because he said that your descendants are going to be strangers in a foreign land. Okay, that was the first stage. Then there was a stage of Avdus, and that happened after Levi died, which according to the Cheshbon, it works out about 117 years from the time Levi died till they went out to Mitzrayim. And then there was a third stage of Inui, the Inuisam, which the stage of hard labor began when Miriam was born. That's why it says Vayamoraru es chayim. She was called Miriam because that's when the bitter stage began. That's why she was called Miriam. From 86 years. Now, Chazal say that had the Moshe, the brothers, not sold Yosef into Mitzrayim, and they had been treated each other, then Hashem would have brought them into Mitzrayim, and the vast majority of the time, maybe they would have had to go through the motions of being servants and going through hard labor, but it would be the minimum amount of time possible. However, because the brothers sold Yosef and they showed a weakness in their character, that character weakness had to be rectified. Okay? And that had to be done going through the stages of being servants and going through hard labor. Okay? In fact, Chazal say that Egypt was called Kur Habarza, the iron furnace. The idea behind it is that how do you process iron, right? It's steel. You take the raw iron ore, okay? You take the raw ore and you heat it up and, how do you say it? Sift it through, and thereby you remove the impurities. So Klal Yisrael, because of the state of character that they needed to go through this process, so Kosh Baruch Hu, b'chachmasa v'chasdol, felt that they needed to go through an Avdus period of 117 years and an Inui process of 86 years, till they had, should we say, cleaned themselves out, being totally purified of these impurities which they had. Okay?
Or are you saying they were punished because the brothers sold Joseph?
Yes. It wasn't just a pure punishment. It was an indication of a major character fault which had to be rectified. Okay? Okay, let's go on now. Mayor, go back to
Okay. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay,
let's hope we don't have any more.
I hope not. Okay, so it says, Pasuk Gimel, Vaera el Avraham el Yitzchak el Yaakov v'kel Shaddai
Shakai.
Okay, so Shakai is also a name of Hashem.
Right.
Okay. Ushmi Hashem lo nodati lahem. Okay, so it says, and I appeared to Abraham, to Yitzchak, to Yaakov as Kel Shakai, Ushmi, and my name, Hashem, lo yada, I did not announce to them. Or,
this is Rashi's going to explain. It doesn't say lo hodati lahem. So I didn't make known to them that I have this quality and trait. No doubt it was not manifest to them. It was never, Kodesh Baruch Hu never showed the manifestation of this character trait. This is what Rashi is going on to explain over here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's see, Rashi. Vaera Ela Havot B'Kel Shakai. Okay, so I appear to the
Rashi's just paraphrasing, instead of saying
right,
Rashi's just saying to the forefathers, B'Kel Shakai.
okay.
What does that mean?
Okay.
What does that name represent?
So it says, Hivtachtim havitachot. I promised them, I guess, for two
promises, right?
Okay. Uvekulam amarti lahem. And in all of them, I said to them, Ani Kel Shakai. Oh, I am Kel Shakai.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, so what does that mean, by the way, in Kel Shakai? Rashi in a few places, most notably, let me see, I'm going to get Chumash Bereshis 1 second. First time Hashem speaks to Abraham is by the bris milah. He said to him, in chapter 17, Pasuk 1, it says, Vayihi Avram ben Tishim Shana v'Seisha Shana. Avram was, this is before he was called Abraham. Avram was 99 years old. Vayiro Hashem el Avram. Hashem appeared to Avram. Vayom Elam, and he said to him, Ani kel shakai. I am God. But we're going to see that the name, what this name Shakai, Shin Daled Yud. He salach lefona b'yesam. Follow closely my service, b'yesam, and be perfect. And then, and that as the pasuk continues, Kodesh Baruch Hu told Avraham Avinu to fulfill the mitzvah of bris milah, and as a result of that, he was zocher to have a child, to have Yitzchak. Okay. But upon him, Kodesh Baruch Hu preceded his request from Avraham Avinu. He says, Ani kel shakai. The Rashi explains over there, Ani hu sheyesh dai be'elokusi l'kol beria. Means Kodesh Baruch Hu is saying, I'm all sufficing. I have enough. There's no limit to what I can do. And there's no limit to what I can provide for my creatures. So the fact that you don't have a child yet, Kodesh Baruch Hu says to Avraham Avinu, even though the Maisa Chazal say that according to his natural mazel, Avraham Avinu, as Avram, was not destined to have a child. But Kodesh Baruch Hu told him, nothing is beyond me. Maybe naturally, as natural course of events, you're not to have a child, but I'm going to change your name, and you're going to be Avraham, and you're going to have a different mazel. And that with that mazel, you're going to have a child. So Kodesh Baruch Hu said, Ani kel shakai, I'm all sufficing, or almighty, or all sufficient, whatever you want to translate it. Kodesh Baruch Hu can do everything. There's nothing beyond the Kodesh Baruch Hu. And therefore, Kodesh Baruch Hu therefore he said to Avraham Avinu, don't worry, right? Follow me carefully and faithfully, and you will have a child. Okay, that's the first time Hashem has said to him, Kel Shakai. Then we find by Yitzchak, when it says, where is it in Parsha's Torahs? Where does it say exactly? I'm just trying to remember now. Ani kel shakai. Says a note over him. Okay, I don't remember now, but it says to all three of them. Let me check my notes over here. One second. 6. Yeah. I don't find it here. I don't have my note either. Where to Yitzchak he actually said these words, Ani Kel Shakai. But we find it by Yaakov in Parshas Vayishlach. I'd have to find that as my homework now for tonight, where the Kodesh Baruch Hu said to Yitzchak, Ani Kel Shakai. But to Yaakov he said it in Parshas Vayishlach. So Vayishlach. Here we go. Yeah, chapter 35, pasuk 11. Vayom Elokim ani kel shakai prei uruvei, goy ukal goyim yemimeko umlochim lechalotzecha yitzei. Upon him, what Rashi is pointing out over before every time a Kodesh Baruch Hu promised something outstanding, the Kodesh Baruch Hu prefaced that promise by saying ani kel shakai. So that's what it means. I promised them promises. In all of them, I said, Ani kel shakai. I have the power to produce the goods. That's what it means. Shaddai be'eloi kusi, to provide for them. Okay, but let's see the next Rashi. Ushmi Hashem lo nodati lohem.
Okay, so let's see. Ushmi Hashem lo yadati lahem.
Nodati lohem.
Nodati. Okay. So, my name, Hashem, I did not announce to them, I guess.
Okay, that's why I translated rather than announce, but I did not manifest.
Okay, manifest to them. Okay, so it says, Lo hodati ein ketiv kan. So I did not make known to them.
Right? It doesn't. It's not written here. I didn't make known.
Oh, it's not written, right? Lo. Okay. Ella. Lo nikarti lahem.
Mitos amitus sheli. Sha'oleo nikra shmi Hashem. Means I wasn't recognized by them with my, how should you say, b'midos, with that character trait of amitus, actually, that I actually fulfill what I promise. Sha'oleo, for which I have that name, Sha'oleo nikra shmi, for which my name is called Hashem.
Hashem.
Means HaKadosh Baruch Hu is God's name Hashem because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is faithful to fulfill his promises. But said to Hashem, to Moshe here, I never actually was manifested that name because I didn't, even though I promised them promises, I never actually fulfilled those promises. Okay?
Okay.
Shahare, that's what Rashi says. Shahivtachti v'lo kiyamti. I made the promises, but I didn't yet fulfill them.
Okay, yes.
So according to where Rashi's learning, why I'm pointing this out, why Rashi's learning, this point of Rashi learning, is because we're going to see Rashi's going to bring a different shot later. But this is where Rashi's way of learning, and these psukim is that Moshe Rabbeinu has complaints I see, Kosh Baruch, you sent me, and he said that obviously the idea is to be able to take the Jewish people out of Mitzrayim. And he says it's not happening. On the contrary, things are getting worse. So she's telling Kosh Baruch was telling Moshe Rabbeinu, don't worry. This is all a matter of my process. The forefathers, I gave promises. I promised them that I'm going to take out their descendants from the land of Mitzrayim, and then they're going to have tremendous wealth, and they're going to come out with tremendous miracles. Just as they say, this is one of the famous Israeli hand signals. You know that? Shwaya, shwaya, right? Okay, so that's what Kosh Baruch was telling Moshe Rabbeinu. Little bit of patience, okay? Because it's going to happen soon. The others, I promised them, and it didn't fulfill them. My name Hashem was not manifest to them. Yet they didn't. But to you, wherever Hashem, it's going to happen soon. Just hold on there. Okay. Okay, we'll stop here. Let's Hashem carry on tomorrow. Pasuk Dalet.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yes, Kayak, thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too.
See y'all.
Okay, bye now.